In this lecture 8, we will look at the malware. So in this lecture, we will study malware, what is malware, usage of malware, types of malware, how malware spreads, and how can you protect computer from malware, what are the symptoms that indicate that your computer has been affected by the malware, and what are the anti-malware programs and how they work. So malware, a short for malicious software. Right, so any software that is malicious, or you can say that is injurious, or you can say not good for your computer, is basically uh, malicious software. A software used or created to disrupt computer operation, gather sensitive information, or gain access to private computer systems. It can appear in the form of code, scripts, active content, or other software. Malware is a general term used to refer to a variety of forms of the hostile, intrusive, or annoying software. So anything hostile, intrusive, malicious is basically malware, and it disrupts computer operation and gather sensitive information. So it is, you can say, the targeted, you can say, code or scripts or active content or some kind of software that is targeted to disrupt your computer operation or gain some information from the user, or the sensitive information like maybe the bank cards or other information that can be, you can say, give some monetary benefits to the person behind the malware attack. So usage of malware. Many early infectious programs, including the first internet worm, were written as experiments and pranks. So basically that started with the experiments and pranks, but you can say that becomes kind of a problem for the modern day computing. Today malware is used primarily to steal sensitive information, financial or business information, and benefit of the others, for the benefits of the others. So basically, yeah, you can say, because that could be used for, you can say, stealing sensitive information, financial and business information can be stolen. So many of the competitors, you can say, use this kind of tools to attack the other, you can say, in the same competition, so that they can have incur some losses on them, so they could benefit from that. Malware is sometimes used broadly against government and corporate websites to gather guarded information or to disrupt their operation in general. So for example, a malware can be used to, you can say, get the information, maybe the profile pictures, or something like that, that may not be accessible otherwise. However, malware is often used against individuals to gain personal information or social security numbers and bank accounts. So on the personal level, it could be the personal information, the bank cards, credit cards, whereas in the, you can say, the corporate or government side, that could be to disrupt their operation or gather some information that otherwise may not be public. So types of viruses include viruses, Trojan horses, worms, spyware, zombie, phishing, spam, adware, and ransomware. So viruses, a program or piece of code that is loaded into your computer without your knowledge and runs against your wishes. So you don't understand, you don't install such kind of, you can say, program, but it gets into your computer without your knowledge and keeps running in the background against your wishes. A virus can also replicate themselves. So this is very, you can say, a property of a virus. So it can make the copies of itself, and all the computer viruses are man-made. Viruses copy themselves to other disks to spread to other computers. They can be merely annoying, or they can be vastly destructive to your file. So they can, you can say, replicate themselves. You can destroy your files. And examples of computer viruses are macrovirus, boot virus, or it will affect your booting of the, you can say, the starting of your computer, the logic bomb virus. So these kind of viruses are, you can say, designed such that if you do this task and if you do this task, if you complete you can say its conditions, then the logic bomb will trigger. It may, you can say, restart your computer or shut down or do other stuff. The directory virus can, you can say, infect the directory of your, or you can say, computer, and may disorientate uh, the files present in your system. For example, if you have stored the file in the C drive, you may not be able to find it in the C drive, or your directory locations could be, you can say, shuffled. Similarly, there is also one example is the resident virus. Trojan Horse. A Trojan Horse program has the appearance of having a useful and desired function. So it is basically, you can say, in appearance, it looks like it is something useful and desired function, and has some desired function. The Trojan Horse neither replicates nor copies itself, so it is in these terms it is different from the virus, but causes damage or compromise the security of the computer. A Trojan Horse must be sent by someone or carried by another program, and may arrive in the form of the joke program or software or some sort. So maybe there could be some case that you install some software, and some, you can say, a mini software or program wants to install itself that you didn't want it to, but it looks like that it may have some useful task, but that may be, you can say, a Trojan horse. These are often used to capture your logins and passwords. So it's kind of some software that runs on the back and collects your logins, password, and maybe send it to the creator. So some common examples of the Trojan horses are remote access Trojans, backdoor Trojans, IRC bots or Trojans, and key logging Trojans. Worms. A computer worm is a self-replicating computer program. So as this is the, you can say, the main characteristic or feature of the worms. It uses a network to send copies of itself to other nodes computer on the network, and it may do so without any user intervention. So worms, if your computer is connected to some network, or 3 or 4 computers are connected to, and one you can say is infected by some kind of a worm, the others computers will get this, you can say, through the network, and because it is self-replicating and can send copies to the network, it does not need to attach itself to any program. So it is, you can say, um, it can survive on its own. It doesn't need any, you can say, software or running on the background, so it works on its own self. Spyware. Spyware is a type of malware installed on computers that collect information about users without their knowledge. The presence of spyware is typically hidden from the user and is difficult to detect. Spyware programs lurk on your computer to steal important information like passwords and logins and personal identification, and then send it to someone. So spyware is also, you can say, it is, as the word implies, spy. So it is, you can say, hidden from your or yourself, and it may run on your background, and you may not even notice that there is some kind of a spyware there. A zombie program takes control of your computer and use it and its internet connection to attack other computers or networks or perform other criminal activities. So someone, or you can say a hacker, may attack your computer and use it as a zombie computer to attack further other computers. So the internet connection of your computer, the computing power of your computer will be used, you can say, to hack or gather information from the other, you can say, victims. So such kind of programs are basically the zombie program. Phishing, pronounced as phishing, is a message that tries to trick you into providing information. So it is kind of like a fake form where they may ask you some your information and your email and your bank account. Maybe they ask you to create your account there, and that could be, you can say, used for some kind of, you can say, illegal activities to gain some monetary benefits. The message may claim that if you do not click on the link, the message, and log into the financial website, that your account will be blocked or something else. So they may trick you into providing some information and saying something's fake, that there is a threat or some so you can say that that may look like that there some original person is asking for the information, but that could be fake, and you can see that it is from, you can say, unknown, you can say, email address, and it is implying that it is from the eBay. So such kind of you can say uh, fake identity is used to get information, uh, to, you can say, use for the criminal or intent. Spam is email that you did not request and do not want. One person's spam is another person's newsletter or sale ad. Spam is common way to spread viruses and trojans. So basically, the you can look into your email addresses. There may be some spam files, and you will see that you may not need all of these emails, and it is not directly related to you, but other people have sent you. That could be the sales ad, or you can say it could be viruses or other stuff. So this is, you can see, are some examples of the spam. Adware, short for the advertising supported software, is type of the malware that automatically deliver advertisements. Common examples of adware include pop-up ads on websites and advertisements that display by the software. Oftentimes, software and applications offer free versions that come bundled with adware. So if you have some, for example, if you have a free version of the uTorrent, you can see that if you open the uTorrent, and there may be some ads popping on, you can say, one side of your window. So this is also used by some, you can say, applications to support their free content, or it could be in the application itself. So this is an example of the adware. Ransomware is a form of the malware that essentially holds a computer system captive while demanding ransom. So it could, may, you can say, hack your system, or in demand of some kind of a ransom or money, or something. The malware restricts your user access to your computer. So maybe it can change the login and system password, so that you may not able to access and ask you for money if you want to, you can say, look into your files or use your computer, either by encrypting files on the hard drive or locking down the system and displaying messages that are intended to force the user to pay the malware creator to remove the restrictions, regain such access to their computer. So this is basically, you can say, the criminal intent that use the encryptions and other hacking tools to gain access of the, you can say, victim's computer and demand some ransom, some money in return. How malware spreads. Malware is a program that must be triggered or somehow executed before it can infect your computer system and spread to others. Here are some examples of how malware are distributed. So it may come from the social network or pirated software. Pirated software means that you have not used the original software, but used it from other sources that may be, you can say, that may be activated, or use fake kind of, you can say, pigeons or cracks, removable media, emails, websites. Data loss. Many viruses and trojans will attempt to delete files or wipe hard drives when activated. But even if you catch the infection early, you may have to delete the infections. So this is basically, you can say, the major loss that it may be, even if you detect it, it somehow can, you can say, corrupt your files, and you may have to suffer your data loss. Account theft. Many kinds of malware, including the keylogger functions designed to steal the accounts and password from the target. So that could result in your, you can say, the important information, and could be uh, stolen from you. This can give the malware author access to any of the user accounts, including email servers, and your useful information could be used to, you can say, trigger other uh, theft activities. Botnets. Many types of malware also suffered control over the computer. So botnets, so So your computer may become bot or a zombie for their, you can say, illegal activities. They may use your the computing power or the processing power to crack files or sending emails or bulk emails to the other computer. So your computer is you can say, processing power and its internet connection and its storage may be used for the other purposes that you don't intend to use it. Financial losses. If a hacker gains access to the credit card or bank account via keylogger, he can then use that information to run up charges and try your account. So that's, I think, you can say, one of the major reasons if someone is stealing your bank account or your credit information, that he wants to gain some of the incur some of the financial losses to you. How can you protect your system? Install some protection software. Practice caution when working with the files from the unknown and questionable sources. So, for example, you can use you can say, the good authorized softwares. For example, big companies or big software content makers like Adobe, or you can say Microsoft. So these are like big companies and very reliable. So they cannot push such kind of viruses or spams into you. Whereas if you gain or use some sources which are software from some sources which are not very known, then they could include some these kinds of viruses. Do not open email if you don't recognize the sender. Download the files from the reputable internet sites. Install the firewall. Scan your hard drive for viruses monthly. And the symptoms. So how can you know that your computer may be affected by the malware? Increase CPU usage. So you will see that though your computer specifications are quite good, but your system keeps on running to do, you can say, at a higher clock speeds and feels like it's running something in the background. Slow computers and web browsing speed, so you will suffer, you can say, the lag in the performance of the computer, problems connecting to the networks, freezing and crashing, modified or deleted files, appearance of strange files, programs, or desktop icons. So if you in the Windows, if you can say see the programs running, you can see some of the programs that you don't even install or know would be running on your system. The programs turning off, and reconfiguring themselves. Malware will often reconfigure or turn off antivirus or firewall program. So, for example, there could be some software that will require you to turn off the antivirus or firewall program, or even they have some of them have the power that they can and turn your antivirus off and work on the background. Strange computer behavior. For example, your computer, you can say, could shut down at any instant or get heat, or there could be some strange behaviors exhibited by the computer. Email messages being sent automatically and users nowadays, so that could be some kind of a virus also. There seems to be a lot of network activity when you are not using network. So your internet connection could be used maybe to send your information to the others, though you are not using your network. So your internet connection or internet storage may also suffer some kind of a loss. The available memory of your computer is lower. For example, when the system takes only, you can say, 3 or 4 GB of the RAM to run, and then the load on your or the RAM could be much higher. Also, there could be some symptom of some, you can say, spyware or virus. Program or files appear or disappear without your knowledge. File names could be changed. So anti-malware programs is used to prevent, detect, and remove computer viruses, worms, Trojan horses, and other types of malware. Examples of anti-malware program are antivirus programs, anti-spyware programs, anti-spam program, and firewall. So antivirus is a protective software designed to defend your computer against the malicious software. So antivirus is basically, you can say, the virus detecting software or preventing software. In order to be an effective defense, the antivirus software needs to run in the background all the times. So it will keep on running all the times in the background. So that may also take a lot of hit on your computing power of your you can say computer, and should be kept updated and it recognizes the new version of the malicious software. So that is some kind of a, you can say, the trade-off that you have to do is that it will keep on running in the background every time, and you have to keep it updated so that any new kind of attack can be easily detected. So these are some common, you can say, uh, antivirus programs. AVG, Kaspersky, Avast, or some, you can say, some of the major ones. So anti-spyware programs are also is a program designed to prevent and detect unwanted spyware programs. Similar to the, you can say, the virus detecting, these are the spyware programs. They can remove these programs if installed. So common examples are spyware doctor, AVG anti-spyware, and anti-spam program. Anti-spam program tries to identify the useless and dangerous messages for you, and firewall blocks attempt to access your files over the network or an internet connection. That will block the incoming attacks. Your computer can become infected through shared disks or even from the another computer on the network. You need to monitor what your computer is putting out over the internet, and also the network. So basically, the firewall is used to, you can say, set up a wall between your computer and the other computer. You can choose from which computers you want to, you can say, exchange your files, and which computers you don't want to. So you can use this firewall, which is built in into the operating system, to, you can say, if you detect some kind of, you can say, unknown user, or you can say a not a very reliable uh, you can say the network partner, so you may use the firewall to block that access of that computer, so that the computer virus may not come through the network into your computer.